Harvester is a point-and-click horror-adventure game that was developed by Digifex Interactive in 1996. In 2014, Night Drive Studios re-released the game to Steam and Linux, and it was a part of this summer's Steam sale, and it was only $2.99. Not knowing anything about this game, and only hearing rumors about how gory and gruesome it was, I decided to get it.
Darn that wasp woman! She's a monster, that's...
Now, to begin this review off right, we have to talk about the insane amount of gore and horrific in-game visuals. This game has so much graphic depravity that a lot of the cutscenes I cannot show on YouTube for fear of getting flagged. So if you are a Buckets of Blood fan, then this game is for you. The plot of the game is you're a young man named Steve, who wakes up with amnesia, and to top it off, something is horribly wrong in the town you live in, called Harvest. The year is 1953, and holds true to the feeling of how the atmosphere around that time period would have been like. Very much like a Leave It to Beaver stereotype, but thrown upside down in a much darker satire and horrific reality.
Violence is as American as apple pie and low SAT scores. Where would we be right now if the cowboys hadn't gone out west and butchered innocent people to steal their land? Answer me that, Mr. Know-It-All.
But what about studies that have shown that children become more violent when watching violence?
Buckaroo, I rip the guts out of godless heathen Injuns. Most kids don't see godless heathen Injuns on a regular basis, and if they do, they better either get their eyes checked or do like old Range Rider and shoot the bejesus out of them, lest they want to go untreated for psychotic hallucinations, or wind up with their scalps hanging from a buckskin belt. Oh, shit! Ow! Shit on a stickaroo!
As you go through the town trying to find out who you are, nobody believes you about your amnesia, and they will continue to tell you this.
Well, you always were a kidder, Steve.
Won't you believe me?
Well, you always were a kidder, Steve.
Right. And you are?
You always were a kidder, Steve.
People ask me why I don't remember their names.
Well, you always were a kidder, Steve.
Why won't anyone believe me?
Well, you've always been a kidder, Steve.
Everybody seems to stress you to join the Lodge. The Lodge isn't really a lodge as you would think of it, but a huge building in the center of the town, and it serves as the headquarters of the Order of the Harvest Moon.
Only initiates may enter the hall of the Order of the Harvest Moon.
Did you say something?
The game will feel pretty slow in the beginning, mostly due to the fact that you will feel as lost as Steve. You don't know what the hell you're supposed to be doing. You will speak to people in town for clues, but some things are very unclear, and you will probably wander around aimlessly as you explore the town, and get to know the key figures in the game. Finally, once you get things rolling, you will discover a string of conspiracy and death involving almost everybody in the town.
To get some meat. They wouldn't let me in until I demonstrated my worthiness. My invitation came after I buried Karen alive. That showed initiative.
And her spinal cord was your ticket in, right?
Even though this game is old, it does have style. I loved how they used real actors in the cutscenes and for the 2D models as you play. This game reminded me a lot of Alan Wake when you would watch an episode of Night Springs. The combat weapons are also a plus. You can go from a wimpy shovel to a fuel-chugging chainsaw. Now, even though I like the style of the game, and the gory death scenes are cheesily entertaining, the plot of the game leaves much to be desired. There is so much of this game where you'll be asking yourself, what the f am I doing? And unlike most adventure games, where you can enjoy the witty banter of talking to the NPCs, this game is more painfully boring to trudge through, because the characters will yap on and on almost about nothing until they finally give you a clue. I mostly went through the game killing the NPCs instead of hearing about the clues to solve whatever puzzle I was facing, because I hate how much they talk, which, funny enough, it can speed up the game.
Boy, in Harvest you can't just go around killing little children in public. You're under arrest for murder in the first degree. Come with me. Okay, Steve. Consider your get-out-of-jail-free card used. You're free to go. I just got one question for you.
Yeah?
How did it feel to kill?
The hell are you talking about?
You're either Harvester or Harvest, boy. Remember that.
Not only that, but this game is buggy. You can be fighting someone to the death, and they will just freeze in time, and you will not get that short amount of pleasure of killing them because they are just standing there. Also, you can get stuck on a corner and have to try to jiggle Steve out of it. Now, this is a very important thing to pay attention to. Make sure you save this game often, because there is no autosave points, and you do have to watch the way you talk to some of the characters in the game. Because if you piss them off in some sort of illogical way, just like walking toward them, this can happen. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give Harvester a 4. This game is painfully long, especially if you just dive into it like I did and have to decipher the clues around the town. I do like the animation of the real actor cutscenes, but still, by the time you reach the point of the game where you get the ball rolling, you will be painfully forcing yourself to trudge on. I did want to find out the mysteries of the lodge, and holy crap, instead of answering any sort of questions you have, it just creates more, and then it will begin to feel really silly. I don't recommend this game for people that are not hardcore retro PC game fans, or horror fans. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, and subscribe.